DZRJ-FM 100.3. That's the Boys to Men with I Made to Love Her. And that song is originally written by Stevie Wonder in 1967. And did you know that his mother helped him write that song? Her name is Lula Mae Hardaway, and she helped him write a lot of songs when he was a teenager. In fact, she was nominated for a Grammy Award for Signed, Sealed, Delivered, but they didn't win that Grammy, so she could have had a Grammy Award as well. Anyway, Stevie Wonder, who was his inspiration for that song, I Was Made to Love Her? I read once that it was a girl whose name was Angie. He said that she was his first love, his third girlfriend, but his first love, and he would call her up at night, and they would talk on the phone, and he would tell her, I love you. She would tell him, I love you, and they would keep telling each other that they loved each other and fall asleep on the phone. Did you ever do that when you were younger, a teenager? Did you ever talk to your girlfriend or boyfriend on the phone and sleep with the phone the whole night? I never got to do that because I had so many sisters that we were always fighting over who would get to use the phone. We'd have to divide up the time. You can use it from this time to that time, and then it's my turn from this time to that time. But nowadays, that is not a problem for anybody because everyone has cell phones. Good morning, everyone. I'm Nadine, and I'll be with you till 2 o'clock this afternoon, playing lots of music. We're going to enjoy lots more music. We're going to be hearing from the Beach Boys in a while, and I'll also be telling you about some foods that are rich in zinc that you can eat, because zinc is good to boost your immune system, and we need that about now when we're all at home and we're protecting ourselves from the coronavirus. So stay tuned. We've got more music coming up right after this.
The BBC in London going direct to Rajah Broadcasting Network. RJ100 FM in Manila and throughout the Philippines.
Hello, I'm Justine Green with the BBC News. The World Bank has warned of unavoidable and significant pain in countries across East Asia as economies contract in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic. In a newly released forecast, it says the virus poses a big threat to the region's tourism, trade and commodity-driven economies. Karishma Vaswani sent this report from Singapore.
The poor will get poorer, and even rich countries will struggle to keep businesses and households afloat. In China, where it all started, the bank says the virus's impact will see economic growth shrink from 6.1% last year to 2.3% in 2020 if the pandemic doesn't get worse. But if it does, then we're looking at growth of just 0.1% this year. It is a similar picture across the region. Worse still is the serious impact on poverty, both directly through illness and indirectly through lost incomes.
American Airlines has confirmed it will seek $12 billion in support from the US government to help it through the coronavirus crisis. Jonathan Josephs reports.
Last week, the International Air Transport Association warned of an apocalypse for the industry if governments didn't step in to help. The world's biggest carrier, American Airlines, is not immune and now wants to tap into the US government's $2 trillion economic bailout. It says this will help it avoid job cuts and stay in business for the next 6 months. Despite profits of nearly $3 billion last year and healthy payments to shareholders, it says it doesn't have enough cash to get by without this help.
Facebook has removed several videos by Brazil's President Jair Bolsonaro, arguing that they promoted disinformation about the value of self-isolation during the coronavirus pandemic. Facebook said the content had violated its standards. This report from our Americas editor, Candice Peart.
In the deleted recording, President Bolsonaro is seen in close conversation with market traders in defiance of guidelines set out by his health minister about social distancing. He's heard saying that the traders should be allowed to work. President Bolsonaro has downplayed the seriousness of the pandemic from the start, describing it as just a small flu. He's accused the state governors who've introduced isolation measures of having done so for political reasons.
Scientists in the United States and Britain say they're carrying out trials on a simple blood test that can check for more than 50 types of cancer, often before a patient has any signs or symptoms. Researchers have carried out trials on thousands of patients. While the test missed some cancers, especially ones in very early stages, it gave correct results on more than 50 other types. But more study is needed before the test can be rolled out for general use. Experts say a single blood test to test for lots of different tumours would be revolutionary. World News from the BBC.
The BBC World News heard live nationwide on RJFM. The BBC and the Rajah Broadcasting Network, media partners in news and public affairs.
Broadcasting live from the heart of metropolitan Manila, moving with you through the changing times, bringing you your music, connecting generations. This is RJFM. 96.5 in Tuguegarao, 91.1 in Baguio, 99.9 in Palawan, 99.9 in Bacolod, 98.3 in Iloilo, 88.7 in Iligan, 88.5 Cagayan de Oro, 100.3 in Cebu, Davao, and Metro Manila, and around the world on www.rjplanet.com. Live the soundtracks of your life through 5 decades of music. This is the Rajah Broadcasting Network, playing nothing but the greatest and the latest. RJFM 100.3.
We play what we want on RJFM.
RJFM 100.3, The Beach Boys with Then I Kissed Her. A feel-good song for a bright and sunny day. Boy, is it a nice day here in Metro Manila. I hope it's nice wherever you are, too. I'm Nadine, and you're listening to the Midday Beat on RJFM. And it's lunchtime here, so let's talk about food. Earlier, I was talking about food that is rich in vitamin C because that's good to boost your immune system. Now let's talk about zinc and selenium. Those are the minerals that are good for boosting your immune system. And you can find it in liver, beef, oysters, scallops, and lamb. Let me repeat that. Liver, beef, oysters, scallops, or lamb. Now, if you're a vegetarian, that might be a bit of a problem for you. So you can eat oats, sesame seeds, pumpkin seeds, and Brazilian nuts. So let me repeat that. Oats, sesame seeds, pumpkin seeds, and Brazilian nuts. Okay? So in the morning, I'll usually eat oatmeal or yogurt with some pumpkin seeds. So that's good news for me. At least I'm getting some selenium and zinc right away in the morning when I wake up. How are you out there? I hope you're doing okay. And I hope you stay tuned until 2 o'clock. We've got lots more great music coming your way. And for anyone who has suffered a loss, including our batchmate, my batchmate, Doc Jerry, the RJFM family sympathizes with you, and our prayers are with you, as well as with all the frontliners out there. You're doing a great job. Keep it up, and thank you for keeping us all safe. Now we're going to take that break, and we'll be back with more music for you to enjoy, so stay tuned.
Ang lahat ay inaatasan na manatili sa loob ng bahay. Suspendido ang klase sa lahat ng antas sa paaralan. At wala ring pasok sa gobyerno at pribadong sektor maliban na lamang sa ilang sitwasyon. Isang paalala mula sa PCOO, DOH, KBP at ng himpilang ito.
The greatest hits of all time. 100.3 RJFM. 100.3 RJFM.
RJFM 100.3, that is Earth, Wind, and Fire. One of my all-time favorite bands with Sing a Song. And that song is all about the power of a song. And we know all about that, don't we? Sometimes you can't say it in words. You just gotta sing it in a song to get your thought or your feeling across. Al McKay composed that famous guitar riff that the song is built around. And he did it when he was in a dressing room one time during one of their gigs. And their gigs were spectacular at their peak. They were so many on stage. Well, first of all, their music is pretty sophisticated. They combined disco, fusion, jazz, some Africana, some soft pop, and some stoned soul. That's how critics describe their musical style. And their messages were always about peace, spirituality, and love. And they would wear fantastic outfits. and they would have a huge ensemble on stage. Well, I mean, to produce that sophisticated mix, they did need a lot of musicians. And at one point, they employed up to 10 musicians and the famous Phoenix Horns section during their concerts. So can you imagine that? Wow. Lots more music like that coming your way. Great music every day here on RJ-FM. You get to sample 6 decades from the 60s all the way till today. So you've got a great mix right there. Stay with me. I'll be with you till 2 o'clock. We're going to take a break, but we will be right back.
The COVID-19 pandemic is starting to overwhelm our hospitals and healthcare systems. At the same time, people with legitimate healthcare needs either cannot be accommodated at this time or face the risk of contracting the virus. For friends who need to have their breast consultations, the Asian Breast Center is an ambulatory breast care facility that serves as a one-stop shop for all your breast care needs, including molecular breast imaging and intraoperative radiation therapy. All of this can take place within the day and often do not require admission, thereby reducing your exposure to infectious diseases such as COVID-19. ABC is located on the 8th floor of Centuria Medical Makati, the country's largest and most comprehensive outpatient medical facility. Call 0917-1BREAST to make an appointment.
RJ-FM now spotlights another original song from Joe and Mike Chan. The song is called With Me Tonight. With Me Tonight, another original song from Joe and Mike Chan, now available on Spotify.
RJ-FM, it's radio today.
100.3 RJ-FM nationwide.
RJ-FM 100.3, that's the music of All for One. I Can Love You Like That. And I'm sending that to you, Carrie Nakbil. Hello, and thank you so much for tuning into your tita. Also, hello to Rex, who is in Colorado, listening in from there, and some listeners who messaged me yesterday. Hi to Danny Narceda. I'm still working on your request for a Louis Armstrong song, so be patient. And also, hello to Ziggy and Levy, who are in Tagaytay. They told me that they still only listen to RJ-FM. And I remember you guys, you would message me all the time on the morning drive or on RJ Sunday Jam. I remember that from a few years back. So I have been taking a break. I've missed you, but I've been keeping busy teaching and doing things like that. If you want to send me a message, you can message me on facebook.com/RJ100. My name is Nadine, and I would love to hear from you. I will be here up until 2 o'clock. And I hope you're enjoying your lunch. Make sure you eat well and eat good food because you need it to boost your immunity and stay healthy. It's very important now that we take care of ourselves and while you're at home. And remember to wash your hands frequently. I mean, you hear that all the time everywhere now. But you know, what I didn't realize was I don't wash my hands for the 20 or 30 seconds that they say you're supposed to do it for. So I had to really discipline myself and count to 20. Well, I make it 30 now just to be sure. But luckily, my mother taught me to wash my hands frequently, like since I was a kid, always before eating, before touching my face, when I hold money, if I pet my dog, or if I come from the toilet. You know, I was always told to wash my hands, so it got ingrained into my head. Thank you, Mom. Thank you very much. But remember to count to 20 or 30 and put soap all over there, even in your fingertips and under your nails. And while you are counting to 20 or 30, remember to turn off the water. We don't want to waste any water. We want to save it. So while you're soaping, turn off the water and you can turn it on again. Okay? Now we're going to take a break. We'll be back with more music. We're going to tell you a little bit. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Huey Lewis and the News. They're one of my favorite bands, and I'll play a song from them for you. And I have a special song that I've been waiting for a long time from Queen. Okay, so that's coming your way. Keep it right here on the Midday Beat on RJ-FM.
You can now listen to RJ-FM 100.3 on a free app called Radio Garden. Step 1, go to your app store. Step 2, search for Radio Garden. Step 3, download the app. Remember, it's free. Step 4, search for RJFM 100.3 Makati. And Step 5, listen and relax.
RJFM 100.3, that is Huey Lewis and the News with But It's All Right. A feel-good song for today. You know you can always rely on Huey Lewis and the News for feel-good music. It's so upbeat. And did you know that they started out as a band in San Francisco? Well, that's where they're from. But their music is described as a combination of British pub rock together with 60s rhythm and blues and rock and roll. And you can hear it in their music and in their songs, and they were really popular in the mid-1980s because they had that party spirit, you know. But they stopped recording for a while in the 1990s. They got back into the studio in 2001 and released an album called Plan B. And then after that, in 2010, they released an album that was a tribute to Stax Records, and that was called Soulsville. And just recently, they released another album, and that's called Weather. It was their 10th album, and a lot of their fans were really happy to hear about that because in 2018, Huey Lewis announced that he was losing his hearing. So I guess he didn't let that stop him from making more music, and I'm so happy about that. I love their music. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Nadine, and you are listening to the Midday Beat here on RJFM. I will be here till 2 o'clock, so I hope you let me keep you company while you're enjoying your lunch. I hope you're eating good food that's good for you. If you want to send me a message, you can message me at facebook.com/RJ100. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
This is VOA News on RJ100 FM. Nationwide.
The United Nations top envoy for Syria warned on Monday that the coronavirus could be a new calamity for the war-torn country and that a nationwide ceasefire must be implemented immediately. Special Envoy Geir Peterson told the UN Security Council in a virtual meeting that the pandemic demands a complete shift in mindset to see the virus as the major threat against all Syrians. Syria has officially confirmed 10 cases of the respiratory illness caused by the new coronavirus and 1 death. There is no data available on how widely or whether the government is testing people. Peterson said there's a high risk that authorities will be unable to contain the pandemic due to high levels of population movements and overcrowding in displaced persons camps and detention facilities. There's also a severe shortage of health professionals and the necessary medical equipment and supplies. UN humanitarian chief Mark Lowcock told council members that given the virus's trajectory in other countries, Syria's 10 reported cases are only the tip of the iceberg. Russia tightened controls aimed at combating the spread of the coronavirus on Monday, with Moscow introducing temporary quarantine measures and the Kremlin moving to extend the lockdown nationwide. The new restrictions came as President Vladimir Putin discussed the coronavirus, among other issues, with President Donald Trump in a phone call that the Kremlin insisted was at Washington's request. The conversation came as Putin made clear he recognized the growing threat of the COVID-19 outbreak. He appeared for his second televised national address on the issue Monday afternoon with a new sense of urgency. The new tone came as a government task force said suspected cases of COVID-19 had swelled past the 1,800 mark, with 9 deaths, numbers that continue to place Russia far lower than other global coronavirus hotspots. Kremlin allies and critics alike now acknowledge that may be due to underreporting. And officials in Afghanistan said Monday at least 21 security forces have died in the latest Taliban attacks, and a planned prisoner swap with the insurgent group has been delayed again. The deadliest violence occurred in northern Takhar province, where Taliban fighters assaulted several government outposts. VOA News.
You've been listening to VOA News on RJ100 FM nationwide.
Broadcasting live from the heart of metropolitan Manila, moving with you through the changing times, bringing you your music.
Connecting generations. This is RJFM. 96.5 in Tuguegarao, 91.1 in Baguio, 99.9 in Palawan, 99.9 in Bacolod, 98.3 in Iloilo, 88.7 in Iligan, 88.5 Cagayan de Oro, 100.3 in Cebu, Davao, and Metro Manila, and around the world on www.rjplanet.com. Live the soundtracks of your life through 5 decades of music. This is the Rajah Broadcasting Network, playing nothing but the greatest and the latest. RJFM 100.3.
We play what we want on RJFM.
RJFM 100.3 with the Cascades. I Want to Be Your Lover. Beautiful vocal harmonies there. So smooth. You know, their style is so much like the Beach Boys, but that's the type of music that was popular in the early 60s. They're from San Diego, and their band was founded by John Gameau. Did you know, by the way, that they named themselves after a dishwashing detergent that's popular? I don't know why they did that, but they did. It worked, though. They got famous, and they did enjoy popularity in the 60s, but in 1967, John Gameau left the band to pursue his solo career, and in 1975, the band finally split up. But they did reunite for tours. They toured the U.S. and they toured the Philippines in 1995 and in 2005, and they even came here to the studio to do interviews. We advertised their concerts as well. The Cascades, great music on RJFM every single day. Happy birthday to Arthur Maliwanag. He is a regular listener. How are you, Arthur? I remember that you used to send me a message, a text message every day when I was on the morning drive and doing the Beatles anthology. I hope you celebrate your birthday very nicely today. Enjoy your special day, and remember to stay home and stay safe this time that we're on home quarantine. But stay tuned to RJFM because we're playing music that you're going to want to hear coming up. We've got the Brotherhood of Man, we've got Queen, Tina Turner, Maroon 5, Jennifer Warnes, and a lot more. We'll be right back, okay? Don't go away.
Sino lamang ang maaaring lumabas ng bahay? Isang tao, kada sambahayan lang ang pwedeng lumabas ng bahay upang kumuha o bumili ng pangangailangan. Mga empleyadong nagtatrabaho sa mga supermarket, groceries, palengke, convenience stores, drugstores or pharmacies, at bank or remittance centers. Miyembro ng PNP, AFP, at iba pang mga uniformed personnel. Bawal lumabas sa mga senior citizen, buntis, at may health condition tulad ng sakit sa puso, hypertension, diabetes, COPD, cancer, at iba pa. Para sa karamihan at publiko, manatili sa bahay at huwag munang lumabas hanggat maaari. Isang paalala mula sa PCOO, DOH, KBP at ng himpilang ito.
Today's country hits.
Radio.
RJFM 100.3, the Brotherhood of Man, with United We Stand. And boy, isn't that true. You know, when that song was written by Tony Hiller, he said it was supposed to be a love song, but it ended up to be an anthem at the time for flower power, the Vietnam War. And it was also the time of the founding of lots of different movements for gay liberation, civil rights, and a lot of times the groups would use this song as their anthem. And again, when the attacks happened in the United States on 9/11, they listened to this, you know, and it was a very healing song for them, for the pain and the suffering that people are going through. So today especially, the world again must be united. We will get over this coronavirus pandemic. We just have to stick together, you know. We can do it. Just be strong and take care of yourself and keep believing and keep hoping. And while you're at home, you know, in quarantine, it's a good time to reflect on what's really important to you. And doesn't it kind of feel good not to have to rush to go anywhere? You know, you can actually take your time finally and relax and enjoy being with your family and enjoy good music. It's good for you to sing and to dance and to be happy. That also boosts your immune system. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Nadine, and you're listening to the Midday Beat. I will keep you company up until 2 o'clock this afternoon, so I hope you stay tuned to RJ-FM. And when I come back, I'll tell you about a song by Queen, which I have been waiting for. I'm so excited about it. It's perfect for today. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
You can now listen to RJ-FM 100.3 on a free app called Radio Garden. Step 1, go to your app store. Step 2, search for Radio Garden. Step 3, download the app. Remember, it's free. Step 4, search for RJ-FM 100.3 Makati. And Step 5, listen and relax.
We play what we want on RJ-FM.
That song was brought to you by Bravo, food supplement for men. Ang bagsik mo.
RJ-FM.
RJ-FM 100.3, that is Queen with I Want to Break Free. I guess a lot of you are feeling like that right about now when we're in home quarantine, so I hope you danced your head off to that song. It's a great song, and I love that band. It's such an incredible selection of music that you can hear from them. Did you watch the movie Bohemian Rhapsody? I thought it was such a good movie. It really captured the spirit of the band, their music, and Freddie Mercury, for me, anyhow. And I'm glad that they made that movie to introduce it to a whole new generation of listeners, because their music is so rich with different types of music. They ventured into rock, heavy metal, vaudeville, music hall, opera. And when they recorded, there were layers upon layers of vocals and guitars in their recording. Incredible band, Queen. And you know that video that was released with that song has them all dressed up in drag, and they're actually doing a parody of a British soap opera called Coronation Street. But I didn't know that. I didn't catch that because I wasn't familiar with a soap opera when I watched their movie. But that's what they were doing, apparently. But it didn't, the audience at the time didn't accept it too well. It got banned from a lot of stations because it was just too avant-garde for the times. But anyhow, I hope you enjoyed hearing that song today. My name is Nadine, and you are listening to the Midday Beat. We've got lots more music coming your way, so sing and dance and enjoy. We're going to take a break, and when we return, you're going to be hearing more music, and I'll tell you a little bit about Tina Turner. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
RJ-FM, it's radio today.
100.3 RJ-FM nationwide.
RJ100. This song is brought to you by RightMed. Isang pangalan sa mga gamot na kailangan. RJ-FM 100.3, that is Tina Turner doing Missing You, which was originally written and sung by John Waite. Now, Tina Turner is one of the most dynamic soul singers in music history. She's electrifying on stage. She came out as the lead singer of Ike and Tina Turner Revue in the 1950s. You know what? She was only 18 years old at the time. She was so young. But, you know, she just had that. She had that it. You know, her performances were gritty and growling and free-spirited, and she just drew attention to her. And her and Ike did lots of nice music collaborations together. Proud Mary is one of my favorites. But he began to get abusive and violent, and she finally left him and divorced him in 1976. And so for a while she wasn't recording, but she came back on the scene in the mid-1980s, and she had a long series of hit singles. She appeared in movies, and she became a really successful solo artist. And until today, she's a big influence on music in the younger generations. The incredible Tina Turner. I'd like to say hello to my friend Ditas. She's got the most beautiful smile. It can brighten up any room. Hello, Ditas. Thank you for tuning in today. Hello to Dottie as well, who's listening in Davao. I hope you have a nice day. She said that she was listening in her car. She's on her way to get her groceries, and she's not hoarding, she specified. That's really good. We shouldn't hoard. Leave enough for the other people. There's enough for everyone if we all just take what we need. Also, hello to Ida. Thank you so much for texting and sending your messages. You can send a message to me on facebook.com/RJ100. I'll be here keeping you company with great music up until 2 o'clock on the midday beat. So stay tuned.
The greatest hits of all time. 100.3
RJ-FM 100.3. That is Jennifer Warnes with Right Time of the Night. I think that song is self-explanatory. I don't have to say anything about what it means. But the Jennifer Warnes has an incredible voice, which you just heard. And she was offered her first recording contract when she was a child. She was only 7. Can you imagine that? But her father said, nope, he turned it down. But she still continued to pursue her passion for music. And the song you heard was one of her first chart toppers. She was signed to Arista Records at the time, and Clive Davis was her producer. And Jennifer Warnes has had an incredible career. She's won Grammys, she's won Oscars. She's known as a singer, a songwriter, an arranger, and a record producer. And she has sung so many #1 hits that were movie themes. The incredible Jennifer Warnes. Well, I hope you enjoyed our show today. It's time for me to get going. But don't worry, DJ Ryan will be here with you from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock, keeping you company. And then DJ Jamie will take over from 5 to 7 p.m. DJ Virginia will be here tonight from 9 p.m. until 12 midnight. And then DJ Lance, of course, tomorrow morning again on the morning drive. And I will be back at 10 o'clock. So until then, stay home, think happy thoughts, eat well, sleep well, and stay tuned to RJ-FM. Goodbye.
The BBC World News heard live nationwide on RJ-FM. The BBC and the Rajah Broadcasting Network, media partners in news and public affairs.
Broadcasting live from the heart of metropolitan Manila, moving with you through the changing times, bringing you your music, connecting generations. This is RJ-FM. 96.5 in Tuguegarao, 91.1 in Baguio, 99.9 in Palawan, 99.9 in Bacolod, 98.3 in Iloilo, 88.7 in Iligan, 88.5 Cagayan de Oro, 100.3 in Cebu, Davao, and Metro Manila, and around the world on www.rjplanet.com. Live the soundtracks of your life through 5 decades of music. This is the Rajah Broadcasting Network, playing nothing but the greatest and the latest. RJ-FM 100.3.
We play what we want on RJ-FM.
Certifiably stimulating.
RJ-FM.